honest with you, and I will tell you that I just do not know the answer. I spend anywhere between an hour and 2 hours a day researching Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and the more that I research, the more that I find out that I don't know enough. So this topic is pretty big, and it goes a long way. But anyway, so we're gonna proceed on with Intro to Bitcoin. So why am I giving this class? Simply put, the more people that understand Bitcoin, the more that you guys can grow in wealth and knowledge. I'm a firm believer in the more people that share knowledge, we become better people. How one shape or form or another, cryptocurrencies are going to be around forever, and you need to at least have a basic understanding of what it is and how it's going to affect your life. Every day the value of cryptocurrencies are expanding as more and more people put money into them. Benefit Communications has been offering classes for about 17 years, and I just kind of realized that it's probably time to start doing that again. I read this book recently called Thinking in Ways about how technology is expanding so quickly that humans are not able to understand what is coming to them quickly as quickly as the technology is changing. So what I am not doing as part of this class is I'm not going to tell you any Bitcoins. I am not going to tell you on anything. Suggesting that you purchase or buy any currency without first talking to a financial advisor, as I am not one, nor do I pretend to be one. So it's almost a pretty clear understanding of that. I'm not going to offer any assistance in purchasing coins or selling money equivalent. So that's what Google is for. Some of this information may be overwhelming, and if I would upload a video on YouTube, and sometime in the next couple days, I will text you with a video link of this class, and you can share it with anybody that you want. That way, if you want to watch it again, you can. If you have some friends that want to see it, that's perfectly acceptable too. So, if you didn't put your cell phone number on there, please do it. So, first thing I'm going to do is we're going to start with question and answers. So, what I'm going to need is I'm going to need a volunteer to first read the question I'm about to put up on the board. And then I'm going to have somebody else, when I call on you, answer that question to the best of your ability that you know. There's no right or wrong answers, because I'm going to actually put the answer up on the board after somebody has looked at the answer. So, without further ado, do I have somebody that can volunteer for me to read this next question? Is anybody? Okay, Jamie? Go ahead, what do you say?
What is money?
All right. So Jamie asked, "What is money?" So do I have another volunteer that will read that one? Please. Go ahead, Barb.
Money is any item or verifiable record that is generally accepted as payment for goods and services or repayment of debt to a particular country or socio-economic context.
Excellent. Okay. That's basically the definition right from Wikipedia on what money is. So what I did is I put on here that Jamie asked, "What is money?" and Barb answered. So the way that this is going to work is whoever read this question, or the answer to the question, gets asked the next question. So I'm going to put on here Barb. So Barb gets asked,
How much money does the U.S. federal government print every day?
okay, so I have somebody that will take a stab at answering that. Please. What do you think? Just guess.
Much it prints?
Yes. How much do you think it prints?
I don't know, $50,000. Probably a little low, but
Okay.
I know I'm not going to get the right answer anyway.
In real life, you want to read that for me? Go ahead, please.
Oh, sorry. During fiscal year 2014, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing delivered approximately 6.6 billion notes to the Federal Reserve, producing approximately 24.8 million notes a day, with a face value of approximately 560 million or 204 billion in 2014.
That's a lot of money that we're just printing off the presses. Okay. So, Wade, you get to ask this question.
How does money flow from the Federal Reserve to my bank?
Got a volunteer to answer that? Or take a stab at the answer? Anybody? Hey, Rob?
Electronics.
Okay. Go ahead and, go for it, Rob. I'll give you that one.
U.S. paper currency is technically a Federal Reserve note, cleared by Bureau of Engraving and Printing. With demand for cash rises, banks will prepare to ask for more paper notes, and the amount is deducted from the bank cash reserve.
Okay, excellent. So banks have balance sheets, and they have to keep so much reserves on hand. How they do that is they go and they promote on their signs, start your checking account here. You put your money in our bank. The more of your money that they have, the less money that they have to borrow from the Federal Reserve. Okay? It's an oversimplification, but that's basically it. Okay, so Rob, you can ask this one.
How many physical currencies are there in the world?
Okay, we got anybody that can accept that one? Go for it, Jake.
3,000.
3,000. Okay. Go ahead with this one. Go ahead. 3,000.
There are 180 current currencies across the world as recognized by the United Nations. The British pound is the world's oldest currency that's still in use, dating back to the 8th century. The newest currency in the world is the South Sudanese pound, made official on July 18, 2011.
You heard something there? 180. And the oldest is 1,200 years old. Okay, so Jason, you're up.
What percent of U.S. dollars are backed by U.S. gold?
Okay, before we go to the next, everybody got a stat? Go for it.
0.
0. Okay, pretty darn close. Go for it. Okay, go ahead and now. Oh, what's your name, sir? Yeah.
Roughly 4.4% of U.S. dollars in circulation are backed by gold, the rest backed by false promises and
So, and I'm putting all the links to all the information that I put on there, so that way you can go back and research all that yourself. So, all right, Dad, go for it.
So what is the difference between cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and regular government currencies?
Okay, anybody got to go for it? What's your name?
Chase.
Chase, what do you think?
Bitcoin is not regulated by the government.
Good point. Yeah, okay, let's go ahead.
Bitcoin, like many cryptocurrencies, is owned by no one. Bitcoin supply is limited and controlled by no one. Price is controlled by the market.
All right. Okay, Chase, you can ask that one.
How many cryptocurrencies are there?
Does anybody have a guess on that one? Go for it, Jason.
I'd say 10.
10? Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
As of November 6, 2017, there are over 1,172 active and growing cryptocurrencies. Not all of these will survive, and the fact that many will fail and some previous currencies have already failed.
That's right, everybody?
Yeah.
A little bit? Okay. Okay, so coins. First of all, Bitcoin was created by someone called Satoshi Nakamoto. No one knows for sure who this is, or even if it is just one person. Code was published to the community in January of 2009. There's very little information known about him. There are a lot of people that keep pointing fingers on who they believe it is, but no one has admitted to actually creating Bitcoin. Basically, the developer created it. He went and published it to the community, and it was born. So, 2009, that's when things started coming out. So if you ever hear Satoshi, you will know why. Bitcoin will only ever have 21 million coins. That's it. 21 million. Never 21 million in one. 21 million. So then, how can there only be 21 million coins? There is not enough supply for all that have one. Math is made easy this way. US dollar goes out to 2 decimal points, or what we call penny. Bitcoin goes out 8 decimal places, called Satoshi. Currently, as of this very moment, one Satoshi currently equals 0.00009 cents. I mean, US dollars. I mean, very, very small. To give you a rough idea, one Bitcoin would have to be worth, for a Satoshi, equal 1 penny. The Bitcoin itself, one coin would have to equal roughly 165,000 in order for that equivalent to kind of line up. Just to give you an idea of what that is. The current price, now when I put this presentation together, I had to change it like several times. But the current price is $9,900. Now that changes all the time. As of this very moment, that's what it was at 3 o'clock this afternoon when I updated this. It's now at $9,278. So it changes quite frequently. This price is going to change 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's no opening, there's no closing. It changes all the time. A new block is mined every 10 minutes, creating 12.5 points. So right now, every 10 minutes, 12.5 points are released to the world. The last Bitcoin will be mined in the year 2145, way after we're gone. So they will still be releasing coins that long. Speak for yourself. Okay. I won't be here. Bitcoins are held in digital wallets. They cannot be stored in banks like we store money today. By February 2018, in a couple months, 80% of all Bitcoins will have already been released. I think we're at like 16 million Bitcoins right now, or something like that. I have to go look at the exact number. And right now, every 10 minutes, 12.5 get added to that. There's a countdown. There's many clocks that keep track of what happens every like 900 days or something. I have to go look at the exact math. But the number of Bitcoins that get released gets cut in half. So it was 25 Bitcoins up to a month ago, and now it's 12.5 Bitcoins. So it slowly it decreases as the currency ages. Bitcoins are discovered by miners. Miners' job within the Bitcoin network is to verify transactions. Miners are compensated by receiving the transaction fees and collecting discovered new coins every 10 minutes. So miners are ones that go out there and process the transaction. We're going to get into that in just a little bit. That's how that money is created, and that's how that money is distributed.
The reason they flow, why they're released coins, is the price of the coin.
It doesn't have anything to do with price.
There was a reason why it
was designed that
why
way.
it's regulated or designed that way.
I think they wanted to get the adoption. You know, they wanted to release a whole bunch right away, and then as the adoption, take off, and it would slowly.
It makes sense that if the price of the Bitcoin goes up, and they're not releasing as many coins in the future, it's so profitable because of mine.
Well, and that's the difficulty. That's exactly it. And what they wanted to incentivize people to put mining equipment in the field to mine those transactions. Right now, people do it for the coins and transactions. But going forward, a lot of them will just get transactions. So if I lost anybody, here's an example. So if Alice wants to send money to Ben, which is pretty ironic that I've actually found a slide that actually had my name there. But if Alice wants to send money to Ben, they go into their wallet and they create a transaction. And then that is sent to everybody on the network, all nodes. Then what happens is the miners, they approve and validate the transaction. It then gets added to the blockchain, and then I receive my money from Alice. Now this process right here takes anywhere between a couple minutes and a couple hours. If you want things done very quickly, you can pay a higher transaction fee, and it's done very quickly. And if you don't want it done very quickly, and if you want to do it as cheap as possible, then it can take a lot longer for that to happen. So this is an example of a transaction. I went to blockchain.info, and every transaction is all held in the ledger blockchain, which we're going to get to. But basically, I copied and pasted the transaction just as it appeared on the website. This address sent 14.137 Bitcoin to this address at 10:17, 11:20, 1:41. So, who is that? No one knows. Yeah, I know, right? So the whole thing about it is it's basically anonymous. Nothing's tracked to a name. You know, if you go wire funds right now with your bank to John Doe in Florida, the bank knows that information completely. This is one address sending to another address. Here's another example. That address sent to this much from there. You can look up every transaction that's happening in real time at any time. But you don't know who it is. You just know and you can see money going from point A to point B. The Bitcoin stats. In the last 24 hours, 613 Bitcoin were given to miners in fees. 269,847 transactions occurred in Bitcoin. Now, it could have been a dollar transaction all the way up to a couple $1 million transaction. $1.83 billion traded in. That's a lot of money in 24 hours. Now, I saw something a couple days ago that hit almost $1 billion. There's some significant cash being poured into Bitcoin. The average cost is $55 per transaction. Don't get carried away. That's not really what it costs to send $1 from one person to another. It's all about percentages. So the more money that you move, the more it's going to cost you. And it was traded in 96 of 236 countries. This is the market cap. You know what market cap is? Okay, so market cap is basically how much value that currency is worth. How much money is in it. Number one currency right now is Bitcoin, $185 billion. How much money is in it? Here's Ethereum at $47 billion. Now remember, this is up to 1,100 currencies that are out there. And there's a website that actually tracks what the market cap is, and you can actually see how much it's going up and down, and which you know how much people are putting into it on a second by second basis. Bitcoin Cash is 27 billion. Ripple is 10 billion, and Dash is 5 billion. So like I said, there's a lot of other currencies on here, but I wanted to kind of show you what the top 5 are. And what was interesting is just when I put the presentation together, actually I just switched to because Dash was they changed in that time period.
Say something bad about Ripple.
Yeah, sure. I don't really have a lot of experience with Ripple, so
From what I understand, there's Winklevoss twins that started Facebook.
Yeah.
They came from Harvard, and they're talking with a bunch of banks that are involved with Ripple. They're, like Bitcoin is like decentralized all over the world, Ether is all over the world, but Ripple is kind of focusing on banks in the United States that are with the fiat currency that we're trying to get away from.
right, sure. Yes.
So one thing that you need to keep in mind here, once you get off of number 1 on this list, it is not about currency. Ripple funded a business by selling a token or a coin. Ripple's business is doing by-the-second bank transfers around the globe. That's their business. They just had their big conference a couple months ago, and people were furious because the coin itself is not required for the transactions on their technology. And that's a slippery slope that once you start going further down on this list, you have to watch.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because Overstock, I think Overstock is reading an article this weekend that they're actually thinking about creating their own coin the first quarter of this year. And that's going to be their primary method of payment that they want people to go to. That's interesting. So this is This one actually took me a little bit to research to find out all these things. I've been doing Bitcoin since 2013. And when I first started doing Bitcoin, I spent about $300 in mining equipment, and one Bitcoin was worth, not a lot of money. These are the highest. This was the highest it ever got in that year. Doesn't necessarily mean that was the average of that year, because that shows a totally different number. But it's interesting to see that in 2011, the highest it got was $1, because it was a lot lower than that in 2011 as well. It was 2012, the highest it was in 2013. When I was mining in 2013, when I first started, it was about $200 to $300, and it only went up to $650 for like a couple of weeks. I mean, it was pretty low. But anyway, but today, and that's obviously not correct because it's gone down since I typed this slide. But it was beginning today, it was $15,000. And right now, I think I just said it was like $92. So, that said, what changed to cause it to go up all the way to 10,000? That's basically, that's the magic number that it kind of broke through, was at 10,000. If it's at 9,000, it keeps hitting at 10,000 daily. It has been, since the weekend. Market adoption. You sitting in this room is causing the value to go up, quite simply. I mean, because you're educated on it, you're going to be buying some of it, you're going to be doing a lot of things like that. Other currencies are failing. Who's watching anyone in Venezuela right now? You notice how their economy just, well, the banks, from the article I was reading, is basically they're not allowing transactions of Bitcoin to hit deposit. So it's just going to force people to put more money into Bitcoin because it's a safety net. So it's a way for them to transfer goods and services without using the currency.
Can I just add one thing on that
Yeah.
note? So there are several places throughout the world where that's exactly the case. And in those places, there are illegal ways that people get their money or assets, whatever term you want to throw on it, into Bitcoin. And once it's in there, because it's anonymous, they keep it in there and they do all kinds of, investments, those types of things, but just to keep it out of downfall.
People are buying them, which is making the demand higher and higher. That's simply what it is. There's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin, and you can't make Bitcoin. So Bitcoin security, let's talk about that for just a little bit. Banks have a couple servers. Bigger banks have servers, but Bitcoin has 30,000 plus nodes right now. What a node is something that keeps the transactions of everything that was ever transferred from anybody is kept on that one, is kept on every server node that's out there. Bank security can be compromised. Bitcoin blockchain cannot be hacked. It can be verified by mining. The complete blockchain is stored on every one of the 30,000 plus servers. A complete register of every transaction. At a bank, you can always go and access your account, either if you forget your PIN or if you forget your account number. Bitcoin funds are stored in a digital wallet that only you know. If you forget your security PIN, your security key, your password, you've lost your funds. Period. Forever. No one can help you. You can't call the government. You can't call 911. You can't call your best friend who fixes computers for you. You can't call anybody. You've lost it. Done. Gone. You just Google people losing Bitcoin, forgetting their passwords, and you will see story after story after story online. And it's just like, and it kills you. So blockchain technology. Blockchain is a continuously growing list of records called blocks, which are linked and secured using cryptography. Blockchain is just beginning to be adopted by companies for uses other than currency. This is a hard one to kind of grasp. But basically, who's ever seen a counterfeit product like a Nike shoe, or a purse? Yeah. Right. So they're out there. come up with. Companies will implement a blockchain ledger technology to track every shoe that they produce. They can then verify that they are an actual legit shoe, not a copy. Because there's only one place that ledger will be accurate. So it's going to make it harder and harder for companies to actually basically duplicate other projects or other products. Does that kind of make sense? What that will do is basically, yeah.
There's a guy on YouTube, he goes by box mining. He actually interviewed one of the, I forget what the name of the blockchain was, but they were using RFID little tags, and they could stick that on a shirt. And they had like a whole rack of shirts. They had a blue shirt, a pink shirt, and a white shirt. And as soon as he pulled that off, it automatically took it out of the registry on the computer. And then when he put it back on, it went back onto the registry on the phone.
Yeah. It's very impressive technology, and we haven't even really seen it in our everyday lives yet, but it's going to hit everywhere pretty soon. It's going to hit just about the same time as artificial intelligence. Bitcoin blockchain requires miners. Blockchain is a ledger which houses every transaction ever completed. So our box tower here that we just built is a simplified example of blockchain and who asked and answered each question. If you notice, Jamie asked, what is money? Bart answered. In blockchain, every transaction, every block is connected to the previous block. So, obviously, Bart's name is here, Bart's name is here. If I see Jason, if I see Rob, I see Rob. It ties to the previous block, so they're all interconnected. All transactions are stored within the continuous blockchain. This would just continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger. There is no end to how it is. Obviously, it's not like blocks here, but you get the concept. Miners solve complex math problems, and who solves them first is rewarded. They verify transactions are correct and not double spent. So it means that somebody can't send that Bitcoin multiple places. Somebody can't have two of the same pair of Nike shoes. So it doesn't work because it's registered to that one person. Miners take a specific number of transactions and references the previous block, like Jason is tied to Jason. So it always references the previous block. And after 1 trillion or so guesses to a complex math problem, the fastest miner gets rewarded. Because each block references other blocks, just one block cannot be changed without all blocks known. Little complicated, but basically, if I were to take block number 5 out and change Jason to Bob, that doesn't work anymore because Bob's name is missing. So all of those have to be changed. That kind of makes sense? Okay. So nodes are different than miners. Nodes host the Bitcoin blockchain, and miners connect to the nodes. They verify all of the transactions. But the node is a copy of the entire blockchain. And there are 30,000 complete copies of the blockchain in the world right now. Yes.
They also have satellites in outer space that are supporting that.
Yes, I know. I was just getting ready to do that. Yeah. So anyone with a desktop computer can run a Bitcoin node. Anybody can. It can be a crappy old computer. It doesn't matter. Anybody can do that. You just have to have a lot of bandwidth supported. Although you are not paid to have a node. You don't get paid. So it's just one of those things that people do it to make sure that the network is not compromised. Because if all of a sudden everybody quit having nodes, then there would be one node, and then at that point in time, it's compromised. So As long as there's one other node, other than the ones being compromised, it doesn't matter. So let's take a look. You can see how the boxes are, we kind of went through that. But if I change the order, obviously the block number doesn't make sense anymore. The names would not make sense anymore. And you all had imaginary stack of blocks next to you, and you're all nodes, you would notice that I moved block 2. And you would say, you're not right, fix it. And it would replicate from all the other blocks. That kind of makes sense? Okay. So blockchain hacking. Blockchains are pretty hack-proof. They're hack-proof because you would have to hack every node, every 30,000 computers simultaneously, and replace every transaction block simultaneously, all within 10 minutes. It is impossible. The more nodes, the more hack-proof. So, as an example, if everyone is working on block 91, now right now I was going to look this up, and it changes all the time because there's so many miners out there. And if somebody knows this off the top of your head, just shoot it out. But the last time I looked, there was something like 400,000 miners out there. So there's a lot of miners. Apparently Microsoft wants to cross them off the list. So if everybody's working on block 91, and there are 300,000 miners working on block 91, so all of these miners out there, they're all focusing their efforts on trying to solve this one math problem. Because obviously if they're solving that math problem, they're going to get paid. But a miner wants to change block 74. He'd have to make all the changes to all of those blocks here. So it's 18 blocks. You have to have all those miners multiplied by 18, or however many blocks you need to change. There's just not enough computer power to make that even remotely feasible.
But they just wanted to change the last one.
Remember how all those copies of the transaction are on all the nodes? Remember how when a transaction is sent to every node? All of those nodes are basically sharing that information, and they will register that which one is the correct. And that's what miner's job is they verify that it hasn't been double-spec. So everybody gets a copy of the transaction as soon as it's made. Everybody does. And then it's miner's job to verify that not one of them is wrong. The worst thing about it is you have to make all the changes to all the blocks before they're finished working on block 91. Yeah.
The other thing to remember is all of this is encrypted as well. So not only are you having to change it, you're having to then re-encrypt it and get it to match what it was.
The same exact mathematical problem that it was before.
Right.
Otherwise, the blocks don't connect. It is absolutely phenomenal technology. So Bitcoin, blockchain hacking. Bitcoin blockchain now resides in space via blockstream. You can turn up a node in your house and have a complete copy of every single transaction for less than $100. Once again, the more that you have, the more that you can do. The more copies of that database. But blockchain now, the Bitcoin blockchain network resides in space. So there's a lot of reasons for pushing into space, but yeah, that's basically the concept. It's in more places. So what is hackable? Your wallet. Just like you can get robbed going down the street, you have your wallet stolen. This could be done as well. If you are careless, if you leave your password for your wallet in your Gmail account, and your Gmail account is hacked, boom, your money is gone. There is no one to call. Nothing. No one. No one can help you. And that's what's very difficult about crypto wallets, let's say. You know, if you have a hard time remembering what your password is for or your PIN at your bank, for your bank card, this might not be for you. Because you could lose a lot of money and it will be gone. So, I'm not going to do any more with the example of this because kind of get the concept. But why would somebody want Bitcoin? Does anybody have a clue? Or anybody have a guess? Anybody? What's the reason for having?
If your government says that your money's no good anymore.
That's true. Okay. Basically, here are some of the reasons that I've heard. Some of them I believe in, but no one knows who you are. No one cares, except for the government. The value will increase because there are only so many Bitcoins. It's a safety net like gold and silver. It's being called the digital gold. Payment is accepted globally with zero exchange rate issues, other than paying for your transaction fees that you have to incur, which miners get that from moving the money from point A to point B. It is like an online savings account without interest. It's accessible anywhere in the world at any time with an internet connection. Transactions happen within hours across the network at low fees, and no government controls Bitcoin. So, what are the risks? Support could move away from Bitcoin to another cryptocurrency, and your value could decrease or disappear. The internet could die, and you could lose access to your coins. Of course, at this stage in the game, I believe if the internet died, we'd be worse off than that. Or you could lose your password or your wallet sign-in and never gain access again. You could die and not tell anyone you have Bitcoins, or that you have a digital wallet. Banks locate the next of kin, or at least tries, or the government takes it if you die. Bitcoin, however, will sit in your wallet for infinity waiting for you to spend it. Because it doesn't know that you are only going to live 100 years old, 100 years. It doesn't know that. It's just going to sit there forever. Each and every Bitcoin or partial coin that gets lost means there's less and less Bitcoins in circulation. There is article after article, blog after blog after blog of people losing their Bitcoins all the time. I have a friend of mine a couple states away, and he lost 2.5 Bitcoins. And he formatted his computer, and he forgot the thing was on his, the security key was on his computer. There is no getting it back. He cannot restore it. It's gone. So instead of, if you were to drop a $20 bill out of your pocket and lose it on the sidewalk, yeah, it sucks that you just lost 20 bucks. But that $20 today will be how much tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. It'll eat you alive knowing that you lost money, because it's still there if you only had your key. So, anyway, so that if you lost a penny, it could be worth, today it's worth 92 bucks. Tomorrow it might be worth 10 bucks.
I think they're estimating at least 15% of the original Bitcoins are gone.
Yes. Yes. I read similar. Yeah. So it means there's not really 16 million. There's a lot less than that. And people lose them all the time. I mean, I see people, online, like I said, I see people, it's like they're setting up all these wallets, and they're downloading these smartphone apps to keep their Bitcoins in. Well, people are careless. They don't know how to back up stuff on their phone. The phone drops in the lake, gone. So the more that happens, the more Bitcoin is just going to keep going up. So that's something to think about, that's for sure. So how to get started? Some of you already might be in Bitcoin now, some of you might not. But first, you got to get a wallet. That's the first thing that you got to do. There are hot wallets and there are cold wallets. A hot wallet is a web-hosted website that requires multiple passwords and authentications. My wallet where I host my, where I have my, I store my digital wallet on blockchain.info. That's where I keep mine. There are lots of places out there that you can put. I strongly suggest don't do one on a mobile app. If you want to have a mobile app to see how much money you have, that's okay. But if you don't, you know, you can have it so you can view it and transfer things, but don't get something that you're only able to access it on your smartphone. Go with something that has a website that you can also access things.
You want to show them these cold wallets?
I've got one on screen here. Yeah, that's cool that you got a cold wallet. So there's Coinbase. There's lots of online digital wallets, and there's some that just do Bitcoin, and there's some that do like Bitcoin and Zcash. There's some that do, you know, Ethereum. There's so many different wallets out there that you can have, and I suggest. I think I have this on the next slide, but I suggest not having all your coins in one place. Do you have something, Jason?
Don't confuse an exchange with a wallet.
You're absolutely right about that. Because exchanges have gone out of business, and with that, then so coins will as well. So there's a cold wallet, which is a device that holds keys, and there's a cold wallet. It's a simple piece of paper. You can actually store your bitcoins on a piece of paper. Now, if that happens, this is what a hardware cold device looks like. It's kind of grainy. That's the best picture of it. Basically, you put on your PIN, and then you can access your security keys. You can put this in your safe. Somebody steals your safe, they don't know your PIN, you're okay. You know, because you can still access some stuff. You can recover it with this company a different way. But if somebody gets a hold of this, or if you forget your PIN, you're screwed. You're completely screwed. I mean, I read this article about this guy who's a columnist. What happens is every time that you put in your PIN incorrectly, your time doubles. So what happens is, if you put in your PIN wrong, you gotta wait 10 seconds. Or you put it in wrong again, it's 20 seconds before you put it in again. When he got to the point where he was up to like 4 days. Because what happened is this guy, he was going on a long trip. He never told anybody that he had Bitcoins in case anything happened. He had it on a paper wallet, or a piece of paper, his PIN for this device. And he says, if anything happens to me, give this to Uncle Jim, he'll know what to do with it. Okay, seems pretty harmless. He puts this under his daughter's pillow. And then says, when he gets to wherever it was, Europe or something like that, hey, check underneath your pillow, you know, what it is. Well, she didn't get the message. Housekeeper came in. Threw the piece of paper away.
What's the Wi-Fi password?
So, lost 20 Bitcoins. So, there are some real risks to having things written down. At the same point in time, you can have a paper wallet, and I saw a couple of them here that are paper wallets. What's nice about paper wallets is it's not hackable. You can actually have your piece of paper. It's not tied to a computer. This address right here, you see that long address? That is your actual address. It's got a QR code, so you can actually scan that and send money to this address. So if you're out and about or somewhere and you want to send something, hey, send me my Bitcoin money to this address, and you just show them that piece of paper. So if you wanted to transfer some money from your hot wallet to your cold wallet, you can do that. You can keep money in both places.
So if anybody wants to donate,
That's one way to do it, yes. So there's pros and cons to having paper wallets. My wife and I have talked about this extensively. Where do you keep your money? And there's pros and cons to everything. The cons to hot wallets is what happens if that company goes out of business. Now, a lot of them have the ability to take your security keys with you, but some hot wallets do not allow you to do that. So if they have you take your security keys with you, then if they go out of business, it doesn't matter. But at the same point in time, there are some that do and some that don't. The cold wallet device that holds the keys, if you forget your PIN, you're done. It doesn't matter. It won't survive an EMP either. I mean, if we were to get hit with an EMP, that device is obviously it's not gonna affect, any of you won't affect the entire United States at one time, but it could affect, an isolated area. So,
Actually, I think with this nano ledger,
yeah, do you have one, is it?
yeah, this is a nano ledger, and it has the same, you put in the numbers, code,
Yep.
password. But when you first start this thing, it reads off like 25 different words.
Yes, phrases, yeah.
And you have to write them all down on a piece of paper. And then you make your own password for this thing. Well, if you actually lose this and in the water,
Mhm.
it falls in the bottom of the ocean.
You can go onto their website and redeem
You
it.
can actually buy a new Ledger Nano, and when you start up the new Ledger Nano, it asks you what words to put, up to 25 words. If you put in those 25 words correctly, it will actually restore your account.
Yep, I have read that. There's
A lot of hot wallets are putting that into,
Yep,
but
yeah. Blockchain has that, I know that for a fact, because I set mine up. So your cold wallet paper, if somebody steals your safe, there's lots of times they'll just steal the safe and then break into it later. Unless you know what your keys are, and you transfer that money out of that, before they get an opportunity to do it, you lost that money. Because I've read horror stories about people only having one copy of their paper wallet in their safe. And if they lose it, they lose it. So there's a lot of scary stuff out there. So, second, you need to get Bitcoins. There are lots of ways that you can get Bitcoins. There's so many more ways today that you can get Bitcoins compared to how you could get it 2 years ago. Heck, even a year ago. You can buy them on eBay. You can buy them on Craigslist, purchase with your credit card. I think it's like buybitcoins.com. I mean, there are tons of sites out there. You can exchange them with currency traders. You can go to a Bitcoin ATM. There is lots of ATMs that are popping up. I think the closest one I saw on the map, I think, was Chicago.
Maryville.
What's that?
Maryville now.
Maryville, okay. That's cool. Or you can start mining. That's another option to get into Bitcoins, yeah.
There's a website called paxful.com.
Okay.
You can go buy Amazon gift cards at Walmart and trade your Amazon gift cards on Paxful for Bitcoins.
Oh, that's cool.
But the fees are pretty high.
Are they?
Yeah. So from all the stuff that I've tried, I like Coinbase. It's actually the
Yeah.
easiest and cheapest.
Yeah, I've seen that. So third, you're going to spend, save, invest Bitcoins. You can keep your money split up in multiple different wallets, not all in one place. You can pay for hotel stays, Broke Point accepts Bitcoin. The tattoo place in Syracuse, I just saw on his Facebook page today that he started accepting Bitcoins. So coffees, trips, merchandise from your mobile phone. There are many online portals that allow you to invest Bitcoins into other currencies, and they trade for you. And I see usually between 0.5% and 2% on my daily returns on that. So there's a lot of stuff out there. Yeah,
Microsoft also accepts Bitcoin now.
I saw that. Yeah,
Pretty cool.
Amazon's getting
It
close.
kind of
to that already.
legitimizes it right there.
Yeah, it does. It does.
I think Dell does too.
What's that?
I think Dell does.
Yeah, you're going to just see more and more people accepting it, and it's pretty exciting. So if you need help, you can text me, you can email me, my card's back there. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I kind of show you how I invest every day and what I kind of do with Bitcoins. I talk about my different miners that I have and things like that, because I've been mining for 2000 since 2013, and in 2014 I've been mining. So I mine right now. Every other day I'm getting about it just depends, between 18 hours and 2 days, I get 0.01 Bitcoins from mining. And I'm processing a 25 terahash. And that's kind of like, what does that mean? That's a lot of hash power. It's a lot of electricity. Mining costs a lot of money to mine, just because of your electricity usage. To give you an idea that the fastest miner for Bitcoin out there right now is called the Antminer S9, and it processes between 12 and 15 terahash. That's one S9. You can buy them online through the manufacturer, but you have to pay in Bitcoin. And you have to wait several months for that shipment to come. It's usually, I don't know, I think it was like 4 months. I think I saw that it takes for that Bitcoin machine to be there. You can also just go to eBay and buy an Antminer. There are lots of them on eBay. To give you an idea, I bought my S9 about 3 months ago now, something like that, because I had S4s before that, and I still have a bunch of S4s. S4s process 2 terahash. So there's like, there's several different levels of Antminers. And I have the S9 right now, in addition to the other ones. And those, so the S4s process 2 terahash, the S9s 12 to 15 terahash. So it's a lot faster, and that's the fastest unit on the market right now. And it takes about as much electricity as roughly about a space heater and a half running continuously. And they produce just about as much heat, and it's like running 2 vacuum cleaners continuously at the same time. So they aren't very loud. Yes?
As we say, $134 a month is what it costs to power an S9.
Yeah.
And it does sound like a jet engine.
Yeah. It's quite expensive.
So what's the return roughly then?
Well, right now, I'm getting 0.01 Bitcoins every other day. I mean, if you kind of look at the simple math, that's the longest it usually takes me to get 0.01 Bitcoins. And then I get 0.01 times whatever the current dollar value is of that is, today let's say it's 10,000, so it's $100 every other day. $50 a day.
For one Antminer?
That's with all, right now I'm processing at 25 terahash. That's what I'm at right now.
You got basically two.
Basically two, yeah. But I have a bunch of S4s, and so it takes a bunch of S4s to add up.
So that's cost over electricity, but then cost of machine.
Yeah, your cost of the machine, I bought my S9 3 months ago, and I paid $2,300, I think it was. On eBay right now, the cheapest I found was like $3,400, $3,500. And that was a couple days ago when I looked. But the more people that hear Bitcoin, the more people that start researching it, the more people that start following. Yeah.
The other, just a couple cautionaries, there are 10 times as many scam sites selling
Yes,
the
there are,
Antminers.
absolutely.
So if you find that too good to be true price for an
Yep.
Antminer,
It is.
run from it.
Yeah, because you'll be taken advantage of. Yeah, I buy it on eBay based upon their seller rating. So I know obviously they're got a good seller rating, and I know that they're a reputable person to buy from. But I won't even look at somebody that's got like 1 rating on eBay. That doesn't happen. And yeah, you could actually just go ahead and invest and pay overseas for it. But I don't know, I want to put on my Bitcoins for all I can. I just don't want to spend it. Because that's the way I look at it, is that I'm doing a buy and hold method as much as possible. Because once again, those Bitcoins, once they're gone.
So once you get an Antminer, what website do you go to download the?
So what happens is in mining, you can mine by yourself. Remember how I explained that one miner connects to a node? Well, they actually connect to a couple different nodes, but in reality, is what happens is that if you mine by yourself, you can turn on your Antminer to just basically process just those transactions. The likelihood of you winning that round, that block, is like 0.00001%. Now, if you do win it, you get all the 12.5 Bitcoins. But how long do you have to wait to do that? So what there is there's pools. There's lots of pools out there. And what they do is they combine the processing power, and they make them all work together, and then everybody shares based upon your hash rate. So the more successful your pool is, the more money that you make. So, and then those pools get a share of those transaction fees as well. And the more money, the more people that are transferring Bitcoins, the more transactions there are, the more fees that there are. So it just makes, more money. Now, the difficulty level changes, and what the difficulty level changes is basically the more miners there are, the system, the Bitcoin blockchain network was designed to slow the miners down. A Bitcoin or a block will only be mined every 10 minutes. So if the miners get faster, they make that mathematical problem harder. And it's automatic. So if all of a sudden a lot of miners quit and they go mine a different currency, then the difficulty lowers. So it always stays very close to that 10-minute time period. So it's very impressive. And like I said, the more that you find out about Bitcoin, then you want to go down the mining road. Now there are ways of mining without having any equipment. There are cloud miners. You can go put $100 in, and like I've got one cloud miner that I paid $110, I think it was, and about every 8 days I get $7. So it's almost $1 a day. So how long does that take to pay back? 100 days. And what happens is as soon as that the mining contract goes to as long as it's profitable to mine. And then once it's not profitable anymore, they won't pay because that mining equipment is too old. So there's lots of ways that you can get involved in mining right away, without any electricity or anything like that. Yes, Jason?
The S9 you said was your most recent purchase. Can you use that to do other currencies as well? Cryptocurrency that's only for Bitcoin?
Yeah, or anything that runs on the SPA 256.
So if you want to do,
You can do Bitcoin Cash.
Bitcoin Cash would be a different type of machine?
No, it's the same one because it's part of the same. It's part of that fork, so it's the
The
same
second one,
technology.
the list that you showed, is it, how do you pronounce that?
Ethereum.
Ethereum? Is that a different machine then?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Ethereum's ASIC resistant, so that's a whole nother can of worms.
Okay, gotcha.
You actually use video cards,
Okay, gotcha.
and you actually build this rig, and you line up all these video cards, and you can process or mine your
Okay,
transactions.
one other question.
Yeah.
Do the other currencies go out to 8 decimal points as well? Like
I don't know how many go. Do you know?
They're all definable by whoever creates.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's all, and all of them have different number of coin counts.
Okay.
It's not like Ripple might have a different coin count from say Bitcoin.
And that's that thing where I said, like, once you get past number one on that list, you have to be really, really careful because Satoshi created Bitcoin to be a currency. That was in his definition.
That was it.
Decentralized currency. That's it. But the triple ledger blockchain, which is what came along with that, which he popularized, it was invented by someone else. That spurned a whole technological revolution of smart contracts and everything else. Once you get past Bitcoin, everything else is about technology, not about currency. Some of them are defined to be currencies, some of them are defined to be a technology. Like Ripple the currency was the byproduct of a blockchain technology designed for banks. So the currency has varying value, but not to the technology, and the company really doesn't care.
Got it.
Yeah,
Well put.
yeah, that was great. There's Bitcoin, there's Bitcoin Cash, there's Bitcoin Gold, and there was a talk of another fork that was going to happen, was going to be called Bitcoin 2X. And basically it was, so what happens in this technology is Bitcoin Cash came around. Was it Cash that split first to Gold? Okay.
Cash was
So, okay, so what happened is there was two groups within that community. And there was the purists who felt like the transaction speed was fine. This is how it was created. It's working just as is. Then there were people that were large business that wanted to see the currency go a different direction. That's why they created Bitcoin Cash. So what it is it split, it did a fork. And in software, that's what that's called, is a fork. It goes two different directions. It was originally the same and then it split apart. So the purest went one direction, and that's still Bitcoin, and then there was Bitcoin Cash. The nice thing about it is anybody that owned Bitcoin before it split now owns Bitcoin, and they also own Bitcoin Cash. So today, I'll be honest, I transferred my Bitcoin Cash to Bitcoin. I've been waiting, I was waiting on my wallet company to be able to have an interface to be able to do that. Because that's all I really care about. I don't really care about Bitcoin Cash, but realistically, the difference is between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash is the transaction speed. That's realistically what it is. The block size went from 1 meg block size to 8 meg block size. It's just how many transactions can fit in one block, and it just means that's how much faster the computers can process those transactions. So that's really the only difference. And then there was a talk of another fork this last November, and it was going to be with the SegWit 2, but that got called off because there wasn't enough support for it, basically. Because all they were going to do is they were going to change it from 1 block size to 2 meg block size. That's it. That was the only difference. Well, there's already the 8 meg block size, so why do it? I mean, that's really it's oversimplification, but that's really what it was about. So what other questions do you have? Did it kind of help answer a lot of questions? Are you more confused now than you were? No, wait.
Just one thing about the miners, and I'm just wanting to make sure I'm understanding this correctly, but in the company is Betmain, right? Makes the ant miners, and they only accept payment in Bitcoin. That at times I've checked just to see how it works and what it's doing. It appears that price really changes a lot. Not necessarily they're changing the price by Bitcoin, but what I think I've seen a lot of people talking about that, where they've checked it one day and then they check the impact the next, and it's way different. And my understanding is what it seems like they're missing is that two things. One, the difficulty on processing stuff impacts that a little bit, is what changing from day to day, and also the fact that the market value goes up and down changes the impact of what amount of fiat currency it takes to purchase it.
Yeah, for sure. Mining can be very difficult to do. When I first set up my original mining rig in 2013, it took me, I'd say, almost a couple days to figure out how to do it. When I got my S4s, it took me an hour to figure it out. When I got my S9, it took me almost 2.5 hours to figure it out. Because the technology changed a little bit in between there. Now I can set it up again if I got another one in about 20 minutes. But it takes a little bit, so you have to have a little bit of technical experience to do it, or at least know somebody who does. So if you decide to mine, just take note. It does take some electricity. It does make some heat. I used to have to heat my basement. I no longer have to heat my basement. I used to have my maintenance barn. I had 2 space heaters running in that maintenance barn, and now I have 1 Bitcoin machine, and it heats the maintenance barn just fine. So just something to think about. Obviously, I'm heating my barn and making Bitcoins. I know that electricity costs a lot, but I'm mining for the future value of Bitcoin and not what it is today. A lot of people think it's high today. I don't believe so. I think it's going to go much higher. Personally, I think it's going to hit 25,000 next year without a problem. At the end of 2020, I think it'll be probably close to every little bit of $75,000 to $100,000 for 1 Bitcoin. And I personally believe it'll hit $1 million in my lifetime. Because once again, there's only so many Bitcoins, and every day that somebody loses their Bitcoin, it's just going to drive that value up more and more. And the more people that adopt it, the more people that are going to use it as a currency. Yes.
If one part of the protocol can be changed by agreement of sufficiently many miners against another, including the part about the way the coins are decreasing over time.
That's built into the software code itself, and that,
By agreement, the coders could all say that the protocol is different, so it doesn't have to be fixed.
right,
Enough people felt that it's important to change that.
to change it. I don't know the ramifications of that.
I don't know how that's controlled. I really don't.
It may seem like a good idea now, but in principle, it could be changed.
If
I agree.
everybody was behind it, it's possible, I guess.
My understanding is like the actual original code cannot be changed just because of how it's compiled. So.
And
like-
there's white pages on that. You can actually go to, what is it, bitcoin.org, I think it is?
Yeah.
And you can actually read the actual white page and how it works, and you being in software. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. You would probably know.
But if you fork it, you can change it.
Yeah.
But at this point, the current node that's running can't be changed other than actually by Satoshi. So technically, if Satoshi surfaced and decided to go in and change the blockchain, he could. But the theory is that he burnt that information, so.
So I don't know that answer. I don't know.
And even if he did, that node's, then the original node's out there, so he can't force everyone to change from what's already out there.
If they don't. So, sure.
I think one of the reasons why they forked on the Bitcoin Cash was because of the fees that were going up for transactions.
It's because of the amount of time that was taking.
Yeah, it was taking more time.
Much.
Is there any way that we could adopt this in our local community if the fees are low enough, below a Visa charge, like, let's say Visa charges 3 or